What is up, the Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. We are back here once again, and you already know what time it is. It is time to bust that rhyme on some grit and some grind, and we're talking about that slime going down the grind line on the East Coast line, whatever you want to say. We got some things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to get into it. But before we do those things, we have to get the formalities out of the way, because you know that when you see me in front of your TV, number one, let me try that again. You know, when you see me in front of your TV, one thing's for certain, three things are for sure. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats, not none of that static. Number three, perhaps the most important number of them all. Number three, want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. You may be asking yourself, how, Don, how, Mr. P, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. I'm going to tell you. You know I don't hide anything from you. Smash like button, subscribe, share it with your peoples. And once you've done those three things, in any order, you've done them in, you've indeed kept your Lions news pragmatic. And since we're talking about sharing, being caring, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. I want you to go grab your peoples, bring them to the stream and say, look at here. Look at here. He got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, beans. You know. That's right, baby. We bringing the original back. You already know what it is. But, let them know. Sharing is caring. Once you let them know, I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, chickens, you name it. Whatever else that you need, I got it. What up, though, everybody in the chat? What up, though, the people that are lurking, twerking, smirking, working, all at the same time? If you're doing anything else, it's freaky and it's illegal. It can land you a prison sentence. So if you don't know those things, just think. They rhyme with lurking. All right? Because, one of them is so cold in the D. How the F do we supposed to keep peace? What's all on a ninja mind is murking and doing time. So murking rhymes with lurking. It's also, you're going to do time. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to do time. What up to Zach J? What up to Irv Gotti and all the people that are going to be coming in here a little bit later? And it is time to talk about the Lions. The Detroit Lions had a visit. They had a visitor. And who was that visitor? None other than Jedrick Wills. And guys, I told you, I think it was last week. Shout out to Syndicate. Shout out to my guy, Lions Live 365. I was reminded today that I need to do the prospect videos. I told y'all I would do them. And I said, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do them, because if I tell you, then that means I will have to do them. But I forgot to do them. So now we're going to start the series today. I'm going to do a segment. We're going to be breaking down somebody every day. Okay. I'm going to do a segment. We're going to make it a segment. I'm not really going to interact with the chat too much. It'll probably be, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes, right? I'll tell you about the player, and then we'll put some highlights on the screen. And after that, we'll end the video segment thing, and then we'll talk about what you guys saw and what you thought, what was your opinion of that player. But before we do that, we are going to talk about a few people. Okay. There's some names that you need to know. One of those names is Jedrick Wills. Jedrick Wills is the one that we visited with today. Hold on. All right, so Jedrick Wills is the one that we visited with today. If you've probably heard the name Jedrick Wills, you know he played for the Cleveland Browns. He's a former top 10 pick. He's only 26 years old. He's dealt with some injuries. He sat out, I believe it was all of last year, to recover from a knee injury, and I believe it was his decision. Listen, he said, "Are we starting with Davenport?" So Davenport is not eligible. These are draft prospects. Okay? These are draft prospects. So no. I believe it was his decision. I feel like it was a Kawhi Leonard type of situation where the team was like, "Oh, you're good to go," and he was like, "No, I'm not." So he sat out the entire year. So we'll get into it. I got some information about him. Shout out to Ron Renarski. We don't care about DJ Moore. I mean, it's good for your team. He was a locker room cancer, so you know. Jedrick Wills okay. I'm gonna give you because you lost, but I'm gonna bring you back. All right. All right, let's see. Current status as of March 2026. He's a free agent. As I said, he came in for a visit today with the Detroit Lions. He sat out 2025 after an injury-plagued 2024 season. Wills reportedly decided to sit out the 2025 season to fully recover from multiple knee surgeries and lingering issues. So it was his decision. Recent rumors, there has been speculation about a potential reunion with the Cleveland Browns on a cheap one-year prove-it deal for the 2026 season, as well as interest from the Detroit Lions and New England Patriots as he looks to return to the field. All right. So his NFL career highlights. He was selected 10th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft by the Cleveland Browns. He played his entire career, 2022 to 2024, with the Cleveland Browns. He was a mainstay at left tackle, starting 57 of 58 games played through 2024. However, his performance was often criticized for inconsistency, leading to a business decision controversy in late 2024 when he sat out due to injury. His career earnings through 2024 totaled approximately $35.6 million. He went to Alabama. He started 29 games at right tackle. He was first team All SEC and second team All American in 2019. Protecting the blind side of Tua Tagovailoa, he allowed only one sack in his entire junior season. So this is Jedrick Wills. Okay. Here's what I think about Jedrick Wills. The injury thing is a concern. But if it's a cheap one-year prove-it deal for a backup tackle, I don't hate it. I don't really have too much to say about the injuries and make Marcus Davenport comparisons, because the Marcus Davenport comparison would be apples to oranges instead of apples to apples. And the reason that I say it's apples to oranges is because Marcus Davenport was the plan. Marcus Davenport was plan A. There was no plan B. Marcus Davenport was going to be the Skarsty to Hutch's Hutch. You see what I did there? Right? He was going to be the guy on the opposite side of Hutch, or everything else be damned. Even after he didn't play the first season, right? He played 2 games. Even after that, you brought him back on an incentive-laden deal and still didn't have really any viable options behind him. An incentive-laden deal, which was worth up to $4.75 million, which he probably got maybe $2 million out of, because it hinged on availability. It hinged on snaps on the field, right? He had to be on the field for a certain amount of a certain percentage of snaps and things of this nature. He had to be available for a certain amount of games. He had to do all these things, which he did not achieve. He played 8 games. Cool. Why did you not have someone else? AQM, cool. He was a practice squad guy that outperformed his contract in a contract year. We've never seen that before. They call it the contract year bump. This is foreign. It's never happened before. No other player has ever had a really, really good year when he was trying to get a really good, a big contract. I'm being sarcastic. I'm using my sarcasm font. But that was your backup plan. You really didn't have any backup plan. Jedrick Wills is the backup plan, which is why I don't really care too much about the injuries. I'm not going to pound the table for you to bring the guy in, but I'm also not going to be like really upset and telling you to fire Brad if he brings the guy in. And the reason is you just need a guy to sit behind Taylor Decker. You know Taylor Decker's going to miss snaps. You know Taylor Decker's going to miss games. And a former top 10 pick that you can get on a cheap 1-year prove-it deal, probably going to be incentive-laden, just like the Marcus Davenport deal. If you're talking about you were dealing with multiple knee injuries and trying to recover from multiple surgeries and other lingering issues, then I don't see you commanding too much money. If he goes back to Cleveland on a 1-year prove, like anywhere that he goes, it's going to be on a 1-year prove-it deal because he's going to have to prove that he can stay healthy. He's going to have to prove that he can remain on the field. He's going to have to prove that he's reliable. So if you said, all right, well, the guy's got to get back into football shape. He's got to get his feet wet, got to get some reps. He can do that in practice. He can do that in training camp. Hopefully, Taylor Decker makes it through training camp, without shoulder injuries flaring up or anything of that nature. So hopefully all those things happen and you don't really count on Jedrick Wills like you did on Marcus Davenport. I don't really have too much of a problem with it. Let's see what you guys got. Cool sign up. Don't count on Decker this season. I'm telling you, that man came back for one reason and one reason only, $20 million. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not counting on Decker. I'm just saying maybe with 2 injured parts, you can get 1 whole. That's all I'm saying. And this is why they need a backup tackle, because they can't count on Decker, right? They need a backup tackle because Frank Ragnow retired. I know, guys, he's a center. There's probably going to be somebody not chatting who's going to run in here right now with like holding up the flag of you're wrong. I came here. Hear ye, right? The correctors are coming. No, brother. No, you're not correcting me. The point is Frank Ragnow retired and they didn't have a backup plan. Taylor Decker has announced that he's coming back. He's not retiring, but we all know the health issues that Taylor Decker has had and the health issues that Taylor Decker cited with not wanting to come back initially, needing to get away from football, needing to listen to his body, not willing to do the things that he needed to do to continue to get on the field because now he wants to be a husband and a father. All of that stuff that he talked about at his locker when we were wrapping things up, when they were putting things in black plastic trash bags, all those things. So for that reason, no, I do not trust Decker. I'm not counting on Decker. I do believe that Decker will have injuries this season that he will deal with, and then we'll see what he wants to do. Is he going to get in the hyperbolic chamber? Is he going to go to the rehab and the prehab? Is he going to go through all those things that he said he was no longer willing to go through in order to get himself on the field and keep himself on the field? Right? Is it going to be a quick stint on IR and he'll take some of that money and not all of it? Because it's probably going to be some injury guarantees or some lack thereof, right? Part of his salary, I don't know if they can redo the terms right now, but whatever injury guarantees there were in the contract, I don't know if they're still there now, but they should be, right? But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We need a backup tackle. If Decker can make it through half the season, that's great. Then this other guy can take over and make it through the other half of the season, and then we can figure out what to do later. Brad has to make a move on the O-line. After that is Gray. Brad needs to make 2 moves on the O-line. The Decker comment was more for Brad Holmes because I don't want to hear his excuses. Oh. Well, Brad probably doesn't watch this show for sure. All right. Here's another name that's floating around. I think most of you are going to be familiar with this name. If you're not familiar with this name, you've been living under a rock for quite some time. He's an older gentleman. Think Bruce Irvin old, right? When you talk about this guy. All right. Let's see. This man's name is none other than Cam Jordan. Now, Cam Jordan doesn't necessarily have to come here. He has ties with the New York Jets. Do you think he's going to go to the New York Jets? He has ties with the Denver Broncos. Do you think Sean Payton wants him? I feel like if you're trying to go to where you're familiar, and it's Detroit, it's New York, and it's Denver, the most likely team to take you would be Detroit. I think the pass rush of the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton looks at Cam Jordan and says, hey, man, wish you luck. Are you retiring? Okay. The Jets, maybe. The Jets, maybe. It depends on a lot of factors. But they traded away quite a few pieces. So maybe it's a stopgap. I don't know. But let's look into it. So Cameron Jordan is currently one of the biggest stories leading into the new league year. After 15 seasons with the Saints, he is officially set to hit the open market for the first time in his career. 15 years, never been on the open market. Okay. Current status, March 2026, free agency bound. As of yesterday, March 5th, 2026, reports confirmed that Jordan, so that's it's today for you guys. It's yesterday for me. Reports confirm that Jordan and the New Orleans Saints have not reached an agreement on a new deal. His contract will automatically void next week, making him an unrestricted free agent. A resurgence in 2025, despite being 36, Jordan silenced doubters who thought he was declining. He played all 17 games last season and recorded 10.5 sacks, his first double-digit sack season since 2021. The price tag, Jordan has stated he isn't looking for top dollar, but won't take another major pay cut like he did in 2025, where he played on a $6 million restructure deal. He wants to be valued. Okay, so give him $7 million. 2025 season stats: games played 17, sacks 10.5, total tackles 47, tackles for loss 15, forced fumbles 2. Unfortunately, at the age of 36, that rivals anything that we have on our roster other than Hutch. That rivals AQM. That dwarfs Marcus Davenport. neither of which are currently Detroit Lions. Josh Pascal could never. Levi Onwuzurike, inside or outside, could never. Aleem McNeil, inside or outside, could never. Ahmed Hassani could never. Am I missing anybody? Did I miss a name that's on our roster or was just currently on our roster? Did I miss anybody who could never? So, potential landing spots. Since he's now open to leaving New Orleans, a few teams are already being linked to the eight-time Pro Bowler. Denver Broncos, a massive connection exists here with Sean Payton. If the Broncos lose John Franklin Myers in free agency, Jordan is seen as a perfect veteran replacement. Detroit Lions. There is internal speculation that the Lions could look at Jordan to provide veteran leadership and a reliable pass rushing partner for Aiden Hutchinson, especially as they push for a Super Bowl window. New Orleans Saints. A return isn't 100% ruled out, but it's complicated. If they sign him after his contract voids next week, they have to eat $18.7 million in dead money. Oh, they will not do that. Plus his new salary, which makes a reunion financially difficult. Fun fact, Jordan is currently number 17 on the NFL's all-time sack list with 132 career sacks. He's hinted that he wants to play at least 17 seasons total, citing Julius Peppers as his longevity inspiration. Other than the age, bruh, signing a veteran should not preclude you from drafting someone. If you draft an edge rusher and you've signed Cam Jordan to mentor this edge rusher, and you've signed, and you already have Aiden Hutchinson, who also can help this young rookie become a pro. I think that's a heck of a tandem to help shape and mold your first round rookie. We're going to talk about a prospect today who could be had in the first round. But while I'm not tickled pink, I don't even know where that saying came from. While I'm not tickled pink about Cam Jordan possibly signing with the Detroit Lions, I'm not opposed to Cam Jordan signing with the Detroit Lions. He said he's not going to play on another $6 million deal. He wants to feel valued. Give him $8 million because that's the same thing that you would have to give to AQM. Is he better than AQM? Naturally. Right? The AQM is going to be, 32 next season? AQM is not anywhere near the list, right? He's probably so far down the list of career sack leaders that he's not even mentioned. He's probably in place number 1,000 or something. Cam Jordan is number 17. And wants to play 2 more seasons. And showed you that he could still compete and play at a high level last season. Now, if we want to go sack for sack, AQM with 11, Cam Jordan with 10.5. There's talk about Cam Jordan getting some layup and gimme sacks. And then there's talk about AQM having sacks in only 7 games this season, while in the rest of the 10, he did not. So I'm not going to say that I'm super opposed to Cam Jordan. Ron Warnarski, Adam Schefter came out today and said he would be very surprised if Mad Max wound up in Chicago. I'm just saying. Just saying. Cam Jordan's injury history is pretty clean. Let me see. Let me look that up for you. 1 second. So it says Cam Jordan is essentially the Iron Man of the NFL, but even a machine needs maintenance. His injury history is remarkably short for a defensive lineman with 15 seasons under his belt. Though age has finally started to show in recent years, the durability streak until late 2022, Jordan had never missed a game due to injury in his entire career. So from 2011 to 2022, that was 11 years. His only missed game in that decade plus span was in 2021 due to COVID-19 protocols. Recent injury timeline. While he still plays through almost everything, the last few seasons have been the most physically taxing for him. 2022, the eye game, week 11, he suffered an orbital eye injury against the Steelers. This caused him to miss the first game of his career, specifically due to an injury ending an incredible 172-game Iron Man streak. 2023, lingering ankle issues. Jordan battled a nagging ankle injury for nearly the entire season. While he started all 17 games, the injury clearly hampered his explosiveness, leading to a career-low 2 sacks. He was essentially a 2-down player for much of the year. 2024, a left ankle surgery following the 2023 season. He underwent surgery on his left ankle in early 2024 to address the issues that slowed him down. He recovered in time to start all 17 games in 2024. 2025 midseason ankle scare. He fought through another ankle tweak in the middle of the 2025 season, but didn't miss a start. His production actually surged after finishing with 10.5 sacks and proving the surgery from the previous year had held up. So major past injuries. 2020, he had core muscle surgery after the 2019 season. It revealed he played the final 5 games, including the Pro Bowl, with an adductor muscle torn completely off the bone. He had surgery immediately after the Super Bowl and was ready for the next season. So the orbital bone injury was the only game that he's missed in his career. So when I said it's pretty clean, he missed 1 game. He's played for 15 years and he's missed 1 game due to injury and another game due to COVID. That kind of eliminates him as a Brad Holmes target. I would say so, yes, but also at the same time, I would say that his relationship with Dan Campbell is probably going to it's probably going to make some things hold up if they were to get him. All right. Let me see where I want to go with this. All right, are y'all ready for our first prospect segment? Let me see here. Where are we at? Hold on, let me get something figured out here. I need to figure out where this source is. Where is this source? Hold on. All right, let me drop that out. Okay. Okay. Because I don't want to be trying to find the source. Where is that? Okay, that's one. And bro, what are we doing? All right, let's go here and then let's go back over here. Okay, there we go. I just had to refresh it. All right, cool. All right, are y'all ready? Shiv says that Cam Jordan signs with the Lions and know they're gonna hit like 90s crack. Boy, I tell you. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with this series. All right. Let's do this thing. Okay. Y'all ready? Am I live? Am I live? Where's my camera? Where's my okay. All right. What is up, though, Lions fans, and welcome to the Prospect series, where we're going to be breaking down a NFL draft prospect on a daily basis. We're going to try to get somebody in here every day. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into it today. We're going to be talking about Akeem Mesidor, edge out of the Miami Hurricanes. His height and weight, he's 6'3", 265 pounds. Well, maybe he's a little bit short for the Detroit Lions, but the poundage, the tonnage, he's got that, right? He's 265. Marcus Davenport, who everybody knows and loves, the favorite Detroit Lions edge rusher ever. Marcus Davenport was 264 when he was coming out of college. Now, he was also 6'5", which 2 inches. Hey, listen, I'm going to say Akeem Mesidor has the height and weight combination for the Detroit Lions to consider him. We'll leave it at that. Now, here's the biggest knock. He's a 6th-year senior. He will be 25 years old as a rookie. Whenever you say the name Akeem Mesidor, this is what always comes up, his age. They're like, oh, we're not going to be able to get another contract out of him. Listen, bro, just look at Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie doesn't have the age situation, but the situation with the Chiefs was like, we can have you for 5 years. We can get you your rookie contract. We can pick up your 5th-year option. And then when that time it's time to go, it's time to go. Wouldn't you rather have someone like Akeem Mesidor for only 5 years? Rather than thinking, oh, when we draft this dude, he's got to be here for 10. I don't think that that's what I want. Like, only 5 years is fine, okay? Because you're planning on winning Super Bowls, and that's what the thing is for. The Chiefs were very successful in that. They won 2, but they also have, well, they won 3, but they won 2 with Trent McDuffie. They also have a guy named Patrick Mahomes. I'll just leave it there. All right. He's from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Neighbor to the north. Bring him home. He's from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, neighbor to the north. So he's familiar with the weather of Detroit. He might be familiar with Coney. He might be familiar with it. He might have been, coming back and forth. He's dropping down. It's okay. So, hey, that's a plus. All right. So the background and the production, Mesidor has had a long, highly productive collegiate journey. He broke out early as a freshman, All-American at West Virginia before eventually transferring to Miami. After missing nearly all of the 2023 season with a foot injury, he's injured. Brad Holmes. Hey, Akeem. Oh, Akeem. This is Brad Holmes. Are you ready to be a lion? I'm over here, detective. Right. So he returned with a vengeance in 2025, playing opposite Ruben Bain Jr. We're gonna do Ruben Bain a little bit later. Not today. But Mesidor was a first-team All-ACC selection and a Ted Hendricks Award finalist. He racked up 12 and a half sacks, 17 and a half tackles for loss, and 63 total tackles, finishing top 10 in the FBS in pass rush win rate. Again, we don't have anybody. I know this was in college, but we don't have anybody else on the team currently who can do these things. Hutch, Jest, that's it. Ahmed Hassanin, get out of here, right? Never played a snap. We don't know what he can do, but I'm pretty sure it's not what Akeem Mesidor can do. This is a first-round draft pick, right? Probably. Something crazy happens, he can slide to the second, but first, most likely, right? Ahmed Hassanin was a sixth. Who else is under contract? Nobody. Okay, cool. All right. Now we're going to talk about his strengths for him from his scouting report. Elite pass rush toolkit. Elite pass rush toolkit. You're talking about guys like Keldrick Falk. Last year, you talked about a guy like Shamar Stewart, who didn't have a pass rush toolkit. He's got an elite one. We want to get to the passer. We want to sack the quarterback. You go with a guy who's got an elite pass rush toolkit. He's arguably one of the most technically refined rushers in the class. His bag of moves is incredibly deep. Swipes, arm overs, cross chops, push pulls, and club rips. He sequences his moves seamlessly, and if his initial rush is stonewall, he counters instantly without losing momentum. We talked about this last year. That's known as a, what was it again? A pass rush plan, right? Mike Tyson very famously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Or was it the mouth? I think people confuse it. I think it was punched in the mouth. Well, he gets punched in the mouth, and then he's got another plan to counter it, right? He's going to throw a counter punch. You're not just going to punch Akeem Mesidor in the mouth and not get punched back. So, hey, I'm all for having a pass rush plan. I'm all for being able to get to the quarterback, because we numbers are deceiving. Yeah, we were fourth in sacks last season, but we also allowed the most time of any NFL team in the pocket. You got to make that make sense. It sounds like people were kind of running into sacks or just running out of time. You know what I mean? All right. First step explosiveness and bend. Mesidor gets off the ball in a hurry. He has fantastic ankle flexion and cornering ability, allowing him to dip under offensive tackles and flatten his path to the quarterback. Relentless motor. He simply does not shut off. He plays with a fiery competitive toughness, constantly working to the ball and making backside pursuit plays in the run game. If this is not a Dan Campbell guy, I don't know what a Dan Campbell guy is. If Akeem Mesidor, what you tell, he's got first step explosiveness, crazy bend, and for whatever reason, that's not enough. It's not the God-given ability that he has. It's not that he's got a freaking high motor. Who do we want in here? Max Crosby. Max Crosby's got all that too. High motor, everything. Now, am I telling you that Akeem Mesidor is going to be Max Crosby? Who knows? We know who Max Crosby is. We know what Max Crosby is. We don't know what Akeem Messidor is on the NFL level. We do know it on the college level. So to have a guy that has all of this stuff like James Houston, right? There were questions about James Houston's motor and, attitude and character. There were questions, right? But this is a Hutch type of guy. He's got the bend, got the explosiveness, and he's got the motor that won't quit. I'm sorry. Having two Hutches, again, not saying that he's going to be Hutch or better than Hutch, but I think his floor is slightly not as good as Hutch. I really don't think that you could go wrong with Akeem Messidor. Again, if you want to pair him and Hutch together for 5 years, if you want to have Hutch on your team for 15 years and you want to have Akeem Messidor on there for 5, that's cool. I don't care. But maybe he does the Cam Jordan thing. Maybe he does get a second contract and just keeps playing at a high level all the way up until he's 40 because Cam Jordan's still doing it at 36. I don't know. It could happen. What else do we have? Alignment versatility. While primarily an edge rusher at his current weight, his natural leverage and power allow him to kick inside to a 3 technique alignment on obvious passing downs to exploit slower guards. If you're telling me that this man is not exactly what the Detroit Lions want, I'm going to tell you I no longer know what the Detroit Lions want. You've got a guy that can kick inside and rush the passer from the 3 tech. They were trying to kick dudes outside who were 3 techs and rush the passer from the edge. What are you talking about? This is a match made in heaven if I've ever seen one. Akeem Messidor should be a Detroit Lion based on his strengths. Okay? But now we're going to talk about the concerns. Hey, I had to do it. I can't just talk about the strengths and not talk about the weaknesses or the concerns. So here's the concerns. Age and medicals. Age, maybe that's a concern. Medicals, hello. This is Brad Holmes knocking. Okay? Medicals don't mean anything to me. Brad Holmes. All right. So because he is an older prospect, 25, and has the 2023 foot injury on his medical charts, some front offices will view him as a player who is already at his ceiling, lacking the developmental runway of a 21-year-old. Run defense discipline. Uh-oh. Damn. It was going so well. His eagerness to get upfield and penetrate can sometimes be used against him. He occasionally loses gap integrity or loses sight of the football, running himself out of the play on rundowns. I think Hutch kind of dealt with that right in the beginning as a rookie. Did he not overrun plays and over pursue and things of that nature and run himself out of the play? I feel like you can coach that out of him. I feel like that's just a coaching thing that you can, development, all that stuff. It's what the coaching staff is supposed to do. All right. Dan Campbell was so excited to get everybody back. So let's make sure everybody's doing their job. Casey Rogers, this means you. Length. His arm length is closer to average, which occasionally gets him tied up with longer physical offensive tackles on the front side of the run. Can we work with these things? Can we scheme these things? I think so. I don't think anything in his concerns was too damning. All right. Draft, projection, and fit. When you are running simulations on the mock machine, themockmachine.com, don't forget about that. Messidor is typically projecting as a solid day 2 pick, though a team looking for immediate rotational juice could easily grab him earlier. Given his incredibly gritty play style, relentless motor, and positional versatility, he's exactly the kind of heat-seeking missile that would look right at home flying off the edge for the Detroit Lions on any aggressive one-gap defensive front. Now, let's look at some highlights. Let me make sure I mute these highlights because I don't want the video to get demonetized. All right. Let's see. Let me take myself off the screen and let's put Mr. Messidor on the screen and let's get it started. I mean, who's 71? He just got abused. All right. Now you can see the relentless motor there, right? That's probably a holding call. Okay, sticks his nose in there on the run. Look at that pursuit. Where are you going? I mean, this guy's motor is crazy. He's like the Tasmanian devil. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about? Watch this, watch this, watch this. Where's he at? Not giving up on the play. What are we doing over here? Again, I'm over here. Where are you? I'm still coming. You're going to see me. You have to see me. This is what Akeem Messidor is saying. You have to see me. I'm going to be there. Just wait. I'm coming back for more. I'm coming. Like, bro, harassment. Someone should have this man arrested for harassment. He is harassing quarterbacks. We do not have this. Outside of Aiden Hutchinson, where is this? Look at this. Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy work right here. I am now officially a fan of Akeem Messidor. I'm pounding the table for an Akeem Messidor. If you don't pick him at number 17 and he's remaining in the second round, I think you got to trade back up to get him. Do you trade back into the first round to get him? Only if you're going to go offense. If you're going to go offense with your 17th pick, if you're going to take a tackle like a Proctor or I always forget this dude's name. Monroe Freeling. Like, it just escapes me. Look at this man. I mean, it's like an addict. He's addicted to getting to the quarterback. I mean, and everybody at PFF loves pressures, right? All of these pressures. Look at this. I mean, he's out. He's all over the field. Bro, I'm sold. I'm sold. And I know I'm going to be sold on a lot of prospects as we do this series. But, I mean, that's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, so that's what we got on Akeem Messidor. I'm not going to play the whole highlight clip. I think you got it. I think you saw what it was. Akeem Messidor, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you join me for many, many more. Once again, the Motor City Cats R&D back at it. We came to give you stats, none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace. All right, that's the segment. All right, so what did you guys think of Akeem Messidor? What did you think? What did you think of the prospect segment? What did you think of the prospect video that is going to be released? All I got to do is cut it up, make a thumbnail for it, put it out there. What do you guys think? Do you think that these things will be good enough? How did you think I was good with the commentary? What did you think of the prospect video series that I'm kicking off here? As I told you, I would be doing this. I got to do it live, because I do it live, then I can make sure that I do it. And then y'all can remind me, be like, oh, who's your prospect for today? You know what I mean? If y'all, we might do like a poll in the chat. Well, we can't do polls while I'm on LNU. I really don't. I need to figure out how to do polls on StreamYard. But yeah, we could do some like requests. I'm probably just going edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably just go edge rushers, like do 5 straight edge rushers, and then maybe I'll do some safeties and things of that nature. But I think we've got time, to do prospects. Today, it's March 5th for you guys, March 6th for me. So, I mean, we got up into the 27th or something of April to be doing these. And if I'm doing one every day, I'm doing like 60 of them. So, it is what it is. Mr. Morale 313 says a Dan Campbell guy. Broderick Martin was a Dan Campbell guy. Marcus Davenport. You're right. You're right. You're right. What up, the Tactical Sport? Could we trade back and get him plus a third? Now, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, if you watch how the draft board is falling, I wouldn't mind trading back and picking him up plus a third. Full well we ain't drafted him. Does he have an injury problem? If not, we ain't getting him. He had a foot injury. And he missed all of 2024 because he had to get foot surgery. So, yeah. Yeah, we got it. That's what we talk about. He's old and he had a foot injury. I think the foot injury is the reason he's coming out at 25 instead of 24 because he missed the whole season. So he probably just wanted to have that season because he had it of eligibility because it was a medical red shirt. So he had that season. So instead of just not taking it, he did it. I mean, we're in the era of NIL, right? So, hey, man. Yeah, it's a good series. Okay, cool. We'll keep doing those things. All right. You know what time it is. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Snick, mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Basking it. All right. Make sure you get your mailbag questions in. And we talked about the mock machine earlier. It is getting there. Let me see what we got right now. Let me see if this ran. All right. Okay. So let me see if and when the last time the scraper ran. Because basically I set up a news scraper that runs every 4 hours. So let me go back to this and see when the last one ran. All right, let's see. Oh, the last one ran 4 minutes ago. So, oh no, sorry, not 4 minutes ago. It took 4 minutes and 18 seconds. The last one ran about an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes ago. So it is doing its job. Let me see what it came up with. Let's see. Let me see, what transactions did we find here? All right, so I found 9 transactions an hour and 15 minutes or hour and 30 minutes ago. What did it find from Twitter? Found one relevant tweet from Adam Schefter, 2 relevant tweets from Rap Sheet, 3 relevant tweets from Tom Pelissero, 3 relevant tweets from Mike Garafolo. 8 relevant tweets from Field Yates. I'm sorry. 0 relevant tweets from Field Yates. 0 relevant tweets from Deanna Rossini. 2 relevant tweets from Josina Anderson. And 1 relevant tweet from Pro Football Talk. And let me see. What transactions? Found 3 transaction rows to process. I think there was no necessary update for the. No way the Chargers have $99 million in cap space. I guess. I mean, you could. Still saying the Detroit Lions have negative $6 million. Right. So there you go. It's doing its job. Let me pop back over here. All right. Mailbag. So still no contract restructuring. You ready to re-sign Davenport? No. Listen, bro. I'm going to tell you what re-signing Marcus Davenport means exactly. Brad Holmes is saying, F you, Detroit Lions fans. I hate you. I'm tired of you. And I'm ready to move on to my next opportunity. That's it. If he re-signs Marcus Davenport, that's exactly what he is saying to everybody. F you all. I hate you all. I hope nothing but bad things happen to you and only you. Hate. That's it. That's all he's saying. Trading back and picking up a third with the day 3 ammo, Brad could go after some players. Yeah. Who's he going after, though? That's the main concern for me. Who's he going after? Because, again, if you use the 3rd round pick to draft a Broderick Martin type of player, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash all the way out. I'm gonna be fire this man now. I don't give a damn if he drafted 3 all pros. If you did the same crap you did, because we detailed it yesterday. Brad Holmes has traded away 8 third-round picks in his tenure here. 3 of those were for Isaac Tesla. He wasted another for Broderick Martin. I'm not going to kill him on Hendon Hooker until you look at all the people that were drafted after Hendon Hooker. Between Hendon Hooker and Broderick Martin, you needed a backup quarterback, but did you need one over Bryant Young? Did you need one over Yahya Diaby? Did you need one over Josiah Stewart? Who did you need a backup quarterback in the 3rd round over? There were like 8 people that you could have drafted instead of the guy that you drafted. So that's, I don't know. The first couple of years, the first 2-3 years, Brad was cooking. He was cooking with those 3rd round picks. Everything was good. Jameson Williams was acquired partially due to a 3rd round pick. That was part of the package. Carlton Davis was acquired due to a 3rd round pick. There was a 3rd round pick that got you in the package that got you Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. So he made good use of his 3rd round picks the first 3 years. It was when it all went bad when he drafted Hendon Hooker. That was the beginning of the end to Brad being able to use 3rd round picks effectively. Since then, it's been cheeks. Mailbag, what's your take on the Jedrick dude? I missed that part. So my take on Jedrick was, I'm not terribly I don't really care too much either way about Jedrick. Jedrick has an extensive injury history, but my thing with that is because Taylor Decker is here and because basically it's going to be two halves making a whole. You hope that each one of those guys can play half a season, and it's not the same half, right? Taylor Decker inevitably is going to deal with injuries. Jedrick Wills will be brought in as a backup. He'll be on a 1-year prove it deal, and hopefully, because he sat out the entire season last year, didn't play at all. Hopefully, he was able to fully recover from those knee injuries and things of that nature. So, if you get a cheap 1-year prove it deal, he's a backup. He's not. He's not slated to start. He's not someone that you're counting on, right? He's going to spell, and I don't even think spell is the right word. He's going to fill in to Taylor Decker when he's missing snaps, when he's missing games here and there. He'll allow Taylor Decker to rest and not have to practice and all these other things. So I think it's fine. It's not a needle move. It's also not a move that I'm going to be so upset with Bradford making. So it's fine either way for me. Melvin is going after Davenport. That would be Keldrick Falk. But stay tuned for the Keldrick Falk video. I don't know if I'm going to do that next. I'm not excited about Keldrick Falk, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that one tomorrow. Trade for AR with that fourth you got, and then go defense with those first two picks. Is AR Anthony Richardson? Why would you waste a fourth round pick on Anthony Richardson? Maximum a 6th rounder is what Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, who's just going to come in here and be a running back that snaps the football. That's the guy you want to give up a 4th round pick for? Your rushing attack would be crazy, but that's going to be obvious rushing downs. 3rd and short, 4th and short. He's not going to be on the field 1st down, 2nd down, and depending on who you get to replace David Montgomery. I mean, I wanted them to get Jalen Milroe for exactly the same reason, right? Push tush merchant. Be able to get the 3rd down. You're running like you got Jalen Milroe out there. You could run the option on 3rd down. You got Jalen Milroe, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, and now at the time it would have been David Montgomery. You could put all 3 of those dudes out there. And they'd be like, if you can stop us from getting a yard with these 3, fine. Good on you. Not sure anyone wants AR. I don't want a QB that takes himself out of the game. And again, that's, as I said, push tush merchant. That's all. He's going to be a specialist coming in. He's going to be our short yardage back, quarterback. You know what I mean? 3rd is a bad word on this pod. But it could be a good word if Brad would just get his stuff together. Brad's 4th round picks haven't been good for about 2 years, but his 3rd round picks. But a 4th round pick is too much to give up for Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is cheeks. He's not a good quarterback. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy that comes in and it's going to be a run because he can't do anything other than that. Because he's not a good quarterback. We need a backup. So what's the difference between Kyle Allen and Anthony Richardson? And I'm being real with you. If Jared Goff goes down, how many games do you expect to win with Anthony Richardson over Kyle Allen? Anthony Richardson's not good at quarterback. Just because he's black and he's athletic doesn't make him a good quarterback, right? So, okay. All right. And he's also got injury problems. I didn't say so. As a quarterback, do you think Anthony Richardson is better than Kyle Allen? Kyle Allen is a more accurate thrower of the football. Kyle Allen's going to be able to get Amon-Ra St. Brown the football. He's going to be able to get Jameson Williams the football. He's going to be able to get Sam Laporta the football consistently. Is Anthony Richardson going to be able to do that? That's my question. If you can say yes, I've got some beachfront property I'd like to sell you in Alaska. Mailbag, would James Conner be a good replacement for Monty? Depends on the price, but yes. It depends on the price. Because he can't read a defense, he can't throw the football accurately. I'm sorry. And Kyle Allen is no. So here's the thing. Kyle Allen's not good either. But at reading a defense and throwing football accurately, Kyle Allen's better at that. We're cooked either way. So if we're looking for a backup quarterback that could right the ship, it's not going to be either Kyle Allen or Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson at this point is a specialist player. He is a specialist. He is a third and short back. He's a fourth and short back because Dan Campbell loves to go for it on fourth down so much. That is the value that Anthony Richardson would have on this team right now. I'm just being real with you. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not pounding the table for either one of these guys. I'm telling, not you, Tactical, but One Pride Book. I'm trying to tell you, neither one of the people that are there right now, Kyle Allen or the guy that you want, Anthony Richardson, neither one of them is the answer at backup quarterback. I would rather draft a quarterback in the fourth round than to take Anthony Richardson with a fourth rounder. And this quarterback could be mobile. He could be immobile. I don't care. Most quarterbacks right now, most quarterbacks in this day and age, regardless of skin tone, are athletic, right? Everybody can move a little bit. JG is the last of a dead breed. It's not a dying breed. It's a dead breed. Okay. There's no more JGs out there. Tyler Shuck can move. So Anthony Richardson for a fourth is crazy. Why would we do that? Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here so I can cut up this video and make sure that I get it ready for you guys and make sure I get it uploaded in the next 30 minutes or so. But I appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out, stopping by for some conversation and the prospect video. But we'll do the same thing tomorrow. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. If not, I'll just probably do TJ Parker, somebody like that. How about it? All right. Once again, the Motor City Cats R&D back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.